Hey guys, I hope everything's going well. We miss you. So many of your teachers have been telling me about the amazing things that you've been doing. And I just can't believe how awesome the stories have been. You guys have been logging on and zooming with your teachers, and I couldn't be more proud of you. And even though you may not be in my class, I miss seeing you every day at lunch and recess and even in the hallways in the morning. Um, so I thought that we would just have a little bit of fun, play a little music before, and I have my background in the back here, pretending like I am somewhere in a tropical paradise. So I thought I would just stick it up behind me, and you guys, when you're looking, you can see it behind me as well, and also pretend that you're in a beautiful tropical place. Even though we're all stuck at home, and I know you're probably going stir crazy, but hang in there. If you guys are working really hard and you're getting your work completed, then I know that you are not going to fall behind. And us, all we ask of you is just to do your best, just like you would if you were in school. Okay, so today we're going to be working on, just like the board said at the very beginning, making connections and informational text with Miss Stone. So we're going to be looking at how the author connects paragraphs or even sentences within a paragraph to prove a point or to discuss a point. So it's kind of like when you're writing and you're making your graphic organizer, you say, these are the things I need to talk about. Well, the author does that before he writes, or she, before they write, they come up with ideas, and they say, well, how am I going to write these out so that we're able, so my reader is able to understand the information I'm getting across. Okay, so we are going to be doing a passage today about the two planets. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it right here. Bear with me, guys. This is all new to everybody, and it has disappeared on me. So hold on just a second, and I will get that up. Let's see here. It should be. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay. All right, so like I said, it's about two planets. Now, I'm going to have to share my screen with you so that you are able to see. I don't want, hold on. Again, sorry about the technical difficulties here. Let's see if I can. I want to get it ready before I share my screen with you guys. Okay, so I think I have it ready where I can share my screen. So we are going to be reading about a passage about the sister planets. And they're called sister planets because they're similar to each other. There are, because like when you have a brother or a sister, you may have some features that are the same, but you're not exactly the same. So we may be looking at how they're a little different. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read this passage. So please follow along as I read it. Okay? So it's called The Sister Planets. Neptune and Uranus are sister planets. They have many similarities. Neptune and Uranus are similar in size. Both planets have the same composition. They are made up of the same materials. Neptune and Uranus have solid rock cores. Each core is about the size of Earth. Liquid water that is thousands of miles deep surround the core. Above the liquid water is a layer of liquid metallic hydrogen. The atmospheres of Uranus and Neptune are made up of hydrogen, helium, and methane. The temperatures are very similar. Also, Uranus and Neptune both have rings. Neptune and Uranus also have differences. While both planets have rings, the rings around Uranus are large and thick. On the contrary, Neptune's rings are hard to see. Unlike Uranus, Neptune has many storms. The winds on Neptune are the fastest in the solar system. Neptune rotates counterclockwise, unlike Uranus, which rotates on its side. Uranus has 27 moons, while Neptune has 13 moons. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to dig into each paragraph. We're going to have paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, okay? So, let me see. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go into Notebook because we're going to have to be going back and forth here. Maybe. All right, I'm going to stop the share for just a moment, and I am going to have you guys you should have a piece of paper. So on your piece of paper, I would like for you to draw a T-chart, okay? And on it's going to be our 2-column notes. So our T-chart is going to look like this. So I'm going to draw it here. So one side of our T-chart is going to be a little bit skinnier than the other side of our T-chart. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. All right, over here, we're going to put paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. So go ahead and write paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, just like this. Now we're going to be taking notes on paragraph 1 here, and we're going to take notes about paragraph 2 here. So these are what we call 2-column notes. All right, but before we start taking this, I'm going to show you the passage again. And this time we're going to be looking for some signal words to help us determine, well, what was the purpose of how the author was trying to tell us about these sister planets? Like, how did he organize the sentences in the first paragraph? How are the second paragraph sentences connected? And then how is paragraph 1 and paragraph 2 connected? Okay, and so in order to figure that out, we've really got to dig into the text. So I'm going to share my screen with you again. Okay, so let's look at some of the signal words. So it says Neptune and Uranus are sister planets. I mean, I know a little bit about sisters. I know we've already kind of talked about it, that you may have some features that are the same, but you also may have some features that are different. So let's see what they say. They have many similarities. You know what? I am going to highlight all of my signal words. And I'm going to highlight my signal words yellow. Okay? So they have many similarities. All right? Neptune and Uranus are similar. Well, similar and similarities, that means that they're kind of the same. So I'm going to do that too. So now that I see that it has very many similarities, I'm going to see, is there any words in this passage that tell us how they're the same? Because it just mentions similarities. So let's see. Both planets have the same composition. Oh my goodness. Both. So if both me and my sister have the same color eyes, that means it's the like both of our eyes are the same color. So it'd be like the planets both have the same composition. So both is a signal word. And same. Similarity, same. So composition, I don't really know what that word means. So I'm going to keep reading and look for some clues. They are made up of the same materials. Oh, So I wonder if composition means how they're made up. So what are they made up of? Okay. But I see this word same right here. Okay. So I'm going to keep reading. Neptune and Uranus have solid rock cores. Okay. Each core is about the size of Earth. Okay. But I don't see any of my signal words. Now, it's still telling me that they both have it. So because they've listed both of their names, but those names aren't signal words. Okay. Liquid water is thousands of miles deep. Liquid water that is thousands of miles deep surrounds the core. Above the liquid water is a layer of liquid metallic hydrogen. Okay, so what is the author doing right here? It kind of sounds like they're giving us a mental picture of exactly how the planet is made up. So that word right here I'm going to highlight that word because that seems like they're still going into depth. So it's probably pretty important. Composition. Okay, let's go back to my yellow. Let's see if we can find any others. The atmospheres of Uranus and Neptune are made up of hydrogen, helium, and methane. So now it's talking about the atmosphere. Okay, but again, it listed both of them, but that's not a signal word. But it's saying they both have it. Okay, the temperatures are very, look at that word, similar. Also, Uranus and Neptune both have rings. Wow. Okay, let's just sit back and look at what has been highlighted in yellow. Those words, similarities, similar, both, same, similar, both. All of those words are talking about how they are the same. How are they the same? So I would like for you, I'm going to stop my screen share so I can show you my 2-column notes. So next to your paragraph 1, I want you to write how paragraph 1 is talking about how Uranus and Neptune are the same. So you're going to write that right there. If you need to pause this video at any time, you can. That way you're not trying to keep up while I'm talking and moving on, okay? So paragraph 1 is both Neptune and Uranus have some things the same. Now you can put that in however way you want, as long as, because this is your notes, you don't have to have it say exactly what I say.
It's 3 o'clock.
This is your notes. Excuse my computer. It keeps me on track here, guys. this right here is just your notes. This is for nobody else. So you could write, you could say paragraph 1 is talking about how the planets are the same. It does not have to be exactly what I wrote. Okay, let's give an example right here of how they are the same. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen with you again, and I'm going to pick a different color. Okay. All right, so let's go with, we'll just go down to blue here. Let's see, where is there a sentence in here that tells me, that proves that this paragraph is talking about how they are the same? Okay, so let's see. It says they're similar in size. Okay, yeah, but let's find one a little bit further down because that will prove the whole thing. More than likely is going to be about how they are all the same. Oh, look right here. I'm going to just highlight this last sentence. It says also Uranus and Neptune both have rings. Now it took away the yellow here, but we know that both is one of those signal words. So I want you to just give an example on your T-chart, and it can be a different example. It does not have to be the blue one, but that's the one I'm going to write down. I'm just going to write it on here that they both have rings. Okay? Both have rings. Okay? So this is what I have. Okay, guys, we're going to move on to paragraph 2. So I'm going to switch back to my yellow, and I'm going to look for some signal words here. So it says Neptune and Uranus also have differences. Oh, right up here it says they have many similarities. But now it says they have differences. I'm going to highlight that because I bet you, since this one was talking about how they were the same, this paragraph is going to be talking about maybe how they're different. So they have differences. Okay. While both planets have rings, the rings around Uranus are large and thick. Now, I know it says both, but here, this word right here, while both, it's kind of giving, well, yeah, it has rings, but this is how it's different. So I'm just going to highlight this word while, because it is acknowledging that, yes, they both have rings, but then it's telling us that the rings around your Uranus are large and thick. But on the contrary, I think I've heard that before. I think that means kind of like but or however. Neptune's rings are hard to see. So it's saying that we can see Uranus's because they're large and thick, but we can't see Neptune's because they're not as big. Okay? Unlike Uranus, so unlike, that means it's not like Uranus. We can highlight that as a signal word. Neptune has many storms. Oh man. The winds on Neptune are the fastest in the solar system. Neptune rotates counterclockwise, unlike, there's another signal word, Uranus, which rotates on its side. Uranus has 27 moons, while Neptune has 13 moons. There's that while again. So it says one thing, and then it goes and it says, well, but this planet also has this. So, looking at this paragraph, okay, we're going to go back to our T-chart. So look at paragraph 1. We said that they both, Neptune and Uranus, have some things that are the same. But what was paragraph 2 about? Paragraph 2 is about how they have things that are different. So let's put that in our notes. Paragraph 2. Both planets have things that are different. Okay, so here's what I have. Now remember, you don't have to write what I have. As long as it's saying, giving the same information, it does not have to be word for word what I wrote. These are your notes. You've got to be able to understand what you wrote, okay? Now, just like before, let's go back to the passage, okay? Let's highlight in blue proof. So if you're a detective and you say, hey, I think that the second paragraph is talking about how they're different. Well, I've got to have proof. Where's the evidence? So let's find it. Okay, Neptune and Uranus also have differences. While both planets have rings, the rings around Uranus are large and thick. On the contrary, Neptune's rings are hard to see. Unlike Uranus, Neptune has many storms. I'm going to highlight that right there because that tells me that Uranus does not have very many storms. They may not have any storms. It doesn't tell us in this passage, but we know that Neptune has many storms and Uranus does not. Okay, so that right there tells us how they are different from each other. Okay, so we're gonna stop there for part one. So if you guys are going to have a passage very similar to this, except it's going to be called Frogs and Toads, all right? And Frogs and Toads, you guys, I need you to go in on Shobi. That's where your teachers are going to put it. You guys are going to highlight those signal words in yellow and then choose one word in blue, or not one word, one sentence, and highlight it in blue for each paragraph to show that is your proof of what you think. So if I go back to my notes, my first paragraph is how they're the same, and my second paragraph is how they are different. So I think the author wrote this passage to show how that he's comparing the two planets. He's saying that this is how they're the same and this is how they're different. Okay? And so now I can see how my paragraphs are connected. Talks about how it's the same and then how it's different. Okay, guys, so have fun with your assignment, and that's it. I know there's questions, but that's going to be part 2. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.